Let us today understand the physiology of fasting. Most of us are afraid of the term fasting, but when you will learn some details about its physiology, you will realize that your fear was unwarranted. The starvation, that is the absence of food, may happen in two ways. In natural calamities like flood or earthquakes, one may not have an access to the food for a prolonged time, or we may observe fast voluntarily. Whenever one is eating, energy required for the body function is directly supplied from the food in the form of glucose. After dinner, when we are sleeping, and because we cannot eat anything in the sleep, the energy required for the essential body function is supplied from the liver glycogen stores. The muscle glycogen stores are meant to be utilized for the body movements in any emergency situation. These glycogen stores usually get depleted within 6 to 8 hours. Now, this process of converting glycogen in glucose is known as glycogenolysis. It starts whenever the insulin levels fall in the blood due to fasting, that is, no food intake. Now, we call this as the first stage of fasting. Now, if you stay fasting for more than 8 hours, that is, if the blood insulin level remains lower than normal for more than 8 hours, then the second protective mechanism takes over. Now, body seeks energy required for various body functions to keep it alive from the stored fats by way of lipolysis. And for that, glucagon is secreted in the body. With the help of glucagon, the lipolysis is done and ketone is produced. This ketone, it provides an alternative energy source for basal metabolic activities. Till now, it was a myth that the brain cannot use ketone as an energy source. It requires only glucose. But if this was to be the truth, then surely the human race would have not survived at all. Because we had faced so many occasions of starvation in the snow era and the Paleolithic era. On the contrary, human brain is having a special character and ability that it can use ketone as alternative and better efficient energy source. And hence, after starvation for more than 8 hours, the mental alertness increases manifold. Now that was the smart arrangement made by nature to keep the person alert in situation of starvation to be able to run for getting food. This is the second stage of fasting. Now, if the starvation continues for more than 72 to 96 hours, nature had made third security arrangement or third security mechanism to protect our life. Now, body reacts very smartly by reducing various not so essential basic metabolic activities so that the important activities of the brain may be continued with minimum energy available. This smart arrangement is called as starvation mode. In this, the heart rate is reduced, the stroke volume, that is the blood pumped out with each heart contraction, is reduced. Thus, the peripheral circulation is reduced, and hence finally the body temperature falls. This is the body's way of energy conservation. This we can call as a third stage of fasting, and it lasts till all the fat stores in the body are depleted. When all the fat stores are depleted, then body has no other option than to utilize the proteins from the body cells itself. And the body starts healing its own cells to use the protein for energy, and this is known as autophagy. The autophagy is the last effort by the body to keep it alive. However, over a period of time, the various body organs stop functioning due to reduced energy supply, and ultimately body dies after a prolonged starvation. This is the last stage of fasting. Thus now we know that nature has created four-stage security mechanism to protect us from starvation. We can survive for more than 40 days of fasting. The world record of fasting is of 382 days. Thus, no one dies with short duration of fast.